please drop your favorite movie? Mine is Ant-Man and all of the ones that Paul Rudd is in because that's my other nerdy fact. I don't know why, but his nerdiness, I just love it so much. Okay, that's the end of my story.
Ant-Man?
And
What the fuck? Happy Tuesday and hello.
hello, Turkey Tots. Happy Tuesday.
Welcome back. Got another episode. Not poop related.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. Actually, this episode's genre, if you will, is kind of surprise. But before we get into that, well, I guess things you would find surprising. But before we get into those shenanigans, I have a question for you that comes from a meme that my friend Rebecca sent me. Shout out.
Shout out, Rebecca.
Rebecca. She's been our local fan fave since day one. And Rachel. Thanks for
Yep.
promoting all the content. So anyway. She sent me a meme of like the background was mini pumpkins and it basically said welcome to Ogtober. Like August, but October.
Oh, okay. Following.
For all of the maniacs that, you know, start doing Halloween decorations now. Which I was like, actually, I just really want to address this with you. Oh, here it says, welcome to Ogtober, aka Pumpkin Spice Eve.
That's better. I like Pumpkin Spice Eve. It's crazy how early everything starts.
I know. It was specific. I specifically was like, I want to discuss this with Kayla because I want to know what your feelings are because I have strong ones.
I also have strong ones. And do you want me to jump right into
I
it?
want you to go first.
Okay. Let me preface this with the fact that I understand consumerism and why things happen, but I actually think it's the stupidest thing on earth. It's like, just wait your turn. Wait your turn, season. Like, we're not even close. I'm sweating my balls off here in Texas. It's like above 100 for the last 20 days. I can't even think about having a hot pumpkin spice latte or putting on a flannel and going pumpkin shopping. Like, ugh, I don't want to see it in the stores yet.
Pumpkin shopping.
You go to the pumpkin patch.
I know. I just liked how you said it.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Do you agree?
Well, I'd like to second the fact that it's over 100 degrees here in Florida. I think the humidity is 120%. If that's, it's got to be more than 100. Look at this. I'm indoors in air conditioning and I still have Hermione hair. And it's so hot out. That's beside the point. I just can't. It's so hot. But that being said, I love Halloween and fall so much that I will turn down my air conditioning and it's August, but September 1st, I will light a fall candle.
I will give you September because when we lived in Wisconsin, the weather was starting to change in September. September was my favorite month because A, it's my birthday month, but B, it started to get a little cooler and the leaves started changing colors. But that was Wisconsin. And every year I go into September with the wrong expectation, thinking it's going to start getting nice. And then it's the whole month of it's still summer down here in our states.
It's so hot. Honestly, sometimes summer or September feels worse because I'm dreaming. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys get this, but we'll get like a little like beep of like cooler air in the mornings. Just like a whiff that relief is coming. So you'll go into work and be like, oh man, it feels so nice out here. And then you'll leave work and it's sweltering again.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get like the hope for getting into Halloween and Thanksgiving and the later season or the later months where the weather is a little nicer. But it's the same thing with Christmas. As soon as Halloween's over, not even. It's like before Thanksgiving, they advertise for Christmas. And I think that's stupid. Like, you go in order.
I know.
You know.
What you're saying is completely logical and rational. It's just I don't operate rationally when it comes to holidays and festivities. So if I get depressed by the end of August or have a bad day, I'll like end up lighting my candle. I went in my closet and smelled it literally yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that's
And I
so
was like, I
funny.
can't wait to light this. But I didn't because it's so hot. It's not worth even like getting myself pretending that it's going to be nice. I will go get a pumpkin spice latte the day that it comes out if I can, if I know it, but I will get it
Really?
iced.
Oh, okay. I will. That's good at
Actually,
least.
I'll do my fave thing, which is to get an iced espresso. So it's just like shots of espresso and ice with
Hmm.
pumps of pumpkin spice because they'll like shake it. And the pumpkin spice
Oh,
has like sweetened condensed milk in it. So it already is kind of creamy. And then I'll just
okay.
do a little beep of half and half on top. So I don't have to have like a whole milky milk drink.
That sounds good.
Bro, it's my favorite. It's also really
How
good.
would you order it for all the neat peons of Starbucks? I don't know how to order
To
things.
be honest, I would order it on the app for mobile order pickup because I hate having to say more than two sentences when I order a drink.
You
But
don't want to be that person.
no, but in the app now they have iced espresso as an option, and I don't know if that's
Okay.
regional, but
Okay.
I'm sure it would be in Texas because it's here and it's hot as fuck there too. But there's iced espresso, and then you can just go in and customize it and add whatever flavors you want, and add
Hmm.
uh, just a splash of cream. And you could also go in because they do those like shaken vanilla oat milk espressos. There's another like shaken espresso beverage that they do that's a similar genre. You could
Hmm.
probably go in there and fuck around and like find out. Get rid of the brown sugar and add the pumpkin spice.
Okay. I feel
This
like I know you did an episode on like customers and the annoyances and stuff like that. It would be really funny to do an episode on just like the best drinks that you could provide and think of and then tell us how to order them because there's a lot of us out here that don't know what the hell they're doing. So
I
I
know.
always go caramel latte because I get nervous and I don't know how to change things up.
I feel you. I don't like lattes. I don't want all the milky milk.
I feel that. See, that's why I need to expand my palate because I don't know what else to order. So I just revert to my. That's just what I always get.
Text me, I'll hook you up. But the
Okay.
moral of the story is I will get my pumpkin spice and it will be iced for the season. It'll probably never get cold enough here before peppermint mocha comes out for me to get a hot pumpkin spice. Moving on, this is my holiday schedule. We try to hold out for fall decorations until September, and then the first weekend in September, I'm trying to blast fall decorations in my house. So I
Mm-hmm.
have like fake, like fall colored leaves I put on my mantle, the whole shebang. I will last until October 1st when I will promptly replace all of my fall things with creepy ass Halloween mantle with my like
Okay.
black lace and skulls and shit. And I love that. So sometimes it comes a little bit earlier. I'll leave that up all the way through Halloween. I don't want to look at that shit a day past Halloween. I'll leave Christmas decorations up like a week long, but not Halloween. I have been known to undecorate for Halloween after trick or treating ends
Oh wow.
because Jason
Wow.
wasn't home and I
Okay.
was bored. So, and I also have outside lights for Halloweeny. So I'll do that. And then I don't know, man. Sometimes I just leave it blank in my house for like the first and second week of November and then I immediately decorate for Christmas.
Christmas. Okay, so this is interesting. Why do you decorate for fall in September but not for fall in November? Because here's my Christmas seasonal decoration. Kayla just glitched. I just glitched, you guys. Okay, wow. Nothing in September because there's nothing happening in September. October, I usually forget until like this last half. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta put up Halloween decorations. So like last half of October, I really don't do much, but I put a few pumpkins up and things like that. Kenny wants to buy one of those huge skeletons this year and stick it out in our front yard. Um, then after Halloween, like that's within a couple days, take that down, and then I do fall decorations through Thanksgiving. And then once Thanksgiving's over, I switch to Christmas, and then I will also do Christmas. I usually leave it up for, I mean, last year I left our Christmas decorations up and our Christmas tree up all the way through the end of January. So that's kind of my thing.
There you go.
But why fall? Why not nothing in November? But
Because I
September?
just am so excited for Christmas. I can't stand it. So
Okay, that's valid.
it's moved up earlier and earlier. When I was a kid,
Oh
we used to decorate for Christmas the day after Thanksgiving because everyone was off.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that made sense. But my thing is, like, I set up a whole village. Like, I do this whole thing for Christmas, and it can't just be for 25 days.
I get that. I get that.
And I also feel mildly depressed that Christmas is over once it's over. So I will only leave it up through New Year's. Like, I usually take that stuff down on New Year's Day because I'm off.
Okay.
So I'm not getting more of it on the back end. What I do is I put my fall decorations in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Thanksgiving room.
Oh,
so for my Thanksgiving guests that bitch at me, I tell them to go sit in the dining room and they can have fall. But everywhere else in my house is Christmas. And I leave one fall scented candle in the dining room and I burn it all day on Thanksgiving Day. And then we go right back to Burl Ives and Rudolph.
So funny. Okay.
I try not to put my outside lights up quite that early because my neighbors, I think, feel pretty hateful about it. Like my outside Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how that's a little bit aggressive. But this year, Jason and I are boycotting holidays. I think we're still going to have Thanksgiving. But we have a secret scheme that's not secret. We warned our families last year on New Year's Day that we were not hosting Christmas and we were going to take a trip and be off duty because we don't have kids and somehow we're hosting all of the adults as if we're the parents. Yeah. And I love hosting and we have a good house for it and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But literally last year on Christmas Eve, we looked at each other and we were like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was too late to back out. So we just gave ourselves permission this year. So I don't know how much decorating I'm going to do. I'm not obligating myself to it. If I feel the vibe, then I'm going to do it. But this may not be one of my like hoopla decoration years.
Like the lady in Grinch who shoots out the Christmas lights from her machine.
Yeah.
Does the most. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Well, you must not be the only one because that's why they put out shit so early because people like you get so excited about it.
Oh, it's so excited. It's so much nostalgia from Wisconsin. The fall was so nice up there.
No, I agree with that.
It's like technically hurricane season here in September. I just don't want to address it. Okay, I knew you were going to not feel the same as me, and that's why I wanted to ask you. So, in line with that, Halloween equals Harry Potter season. And
also, you have her hair right now.
I know, I didn't even mean to say I had Hermione hair, but like, I guess Florida was trying to do me a solid and puff me up to the max. But one of my new coworkers told me about this Harry Potter website. Pottermore something. I don't know. Listen, Harry Potter people. I'm new to the scene. Apparently, Jesus didn't like Harry Potter growing up, so I didn't watch the movies or read the books until COVID 2020. That's what I did.
You didn't watch the movies or read the books until 2020?
No, I wasn't allowed to. Well, I wasn't allowed to as a kid. Obviously, my parents weren't dictating my behaviors after that. But then I just hadn't seen it, and it felt like it was too late, and I just felt lame. Okay, guys, listen, though. So I did the Harry Potter quiz, and I got the results, and then I got Kayla to do it because I was so excited. So she took time out of her mom life of being busy to take this quiz with me, and now we're going to reveal our results to each other.
Mm-hmm. I heard about every third word, but I am here for sharing our results and talking about it. I think it's called Wizarding Worlds.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think if you do like a Googie, if you Google Pottermore, it'll come up too. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, do you have a guess on what you think mine was?
Your house?
Yeah.
You could go so many ways. I feel like my guess is Slytherin.
You got it. I was so excited. Wow. I was so excited and I was so hoping that was going to be which one I got.
So you are Slytherin, and I guessed it right, but that's funny. That's really funny. I was like, I think I'm gonna go for it and say Slytherin.
That's what I was hoping for so badly. I tried not
Really?
to answer in such a way that I would get that answer, and I don't think that I did, but I was so amped.
Wow. Okay, we will have to unpack that, but now I'm curious. What do you think I got?
I have a guess, and I don't want you to get mad at me for it, but I feel as though you may have gotten Hufflepuff.
I don't even remember why. What is there a.
I think they're just like the smarty pants.
Oh, I mean, I see why you would say that.
Or is
But that's not
Ravenclaw
what
the
I got.
smarty pants?
I don't remember, but that's not what I got.
Did you get Harry Potter's one? Are you the hero of our
Gryffindor.
story?
I think so. I don't mean to be.
I kind of love that I have Slytherin and you got Gryffindor.
I know. Are we gonna go battle it out?
Do you know? Okay,
That's
guys,
funny.
for those of you who don't care about Harry Potter, fast forward. But for those of you who do, this website's so fun, and you probably know it'll tell you, do the sorting hat and tell you your house, and then you can do your wand and your Patronus. Did you do those 2 quizzes?
I did. Okay, but here's my lack of Harry Potter knowledge. What is a Patronus?
I think I had to remind myself, and this is because I very recently, compared to you, read the books, but it's the like ghost thing that like comes out of your wand that helps you.
Okay. Yes,
Like it's
I
an
did it.
animal.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like I got a really cool house and I was so excited. I'm not going to make you guess, but listen to how fucking dumb my Patronus is. This is the most like pussy ass animal. It's a hedgehog. What the fuck is a hedgehog going to do for me? When they
That's
feel fear, they
great.
just ball up and roll around.
That's really. I mean, they have spikies on them. Mine's pretty dope. Well, maybe compared to other ones, it could be worse, but it's like, you know, Gryffindor, and then Bay Stallion.
That's so much cooler.
I know. I like it. Yeah,
Fucking hedgehog.
Bay Stallion. So yeah, I mean, unicorn would have been cool too, but that's what I got.
Okay, well, apparently my wand is made of sycamore, and I don't know what that means, but
Mine is made of beech wood, which I also don't know what that means.
did you make an avatar?
I did not. No.
It's okay, you have a child. I was bored one day in a mandatory training, and I made my avatar, and I'm going to share my results on the social medias when this airs.
I freaking love it.
Oh my God. I've been excited about this for literal weeks, hoping I could get you to do this quiz. And then when I realized it could be part of our discussion of our nerdy behaviors in the podcast, I've never been more proud of myself.
It was perfect. Well, speaking of nerdy, I think we touched on this before in a previous episode where I'm a nerd for video games. But dude, one of my nerdy traits is playing Harry Potter. And so it's the funny, you said Avatar. So I have an avatar with Harry Potter, but it's not me, it's my husband because I took over his gameplay and I'm playing as him. And it's the funniest thing, he's so mad about it. But yeah, dude. That shit's fun, that game.
Did you get Kenny to do the quiz, or is he not that interested?
I didn't even ask because I don't think he's gonna want to do it.
It's okay. I don't blame him. I
think he'd get Gryffindor. If I got Gryffindor, he's getting Gryffindor because he's way
true.
more like, you know, heroic and, you know, trustworthy. The one that people go to for things, you know, it's him.
I now realize that I meant to guess that you got Ravenclaw because that's the smarty pants, and Hufflepuffs are like the nicey nices.
Oh, that makes sense.
I feel like all my social worker friends that did this at work, where I originally heard about it, were all Hufflepuffs.
Okay, that makes sense.
And none of them were surprised that I was the evil one.
You sprinkle in a little bit more spiciness and it's just really funny. I love that I guessed it correctly.
I'm so impressed.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Anyway, guys, all of this has been a long introduction to tell you that we've been pondering the things that we do that are dweeby or nerdy or otherwise unexpected. And I feel like Harry Potter was a good starting ground to start on.
Mm-hmm.
I
love it.
I think if you know me for more than like 10 minutes, Harry Potter being a thing is not that surprising.
Yeah, but I have known you forever, and I didn't know that you had just recently watched and listened. I should have known, but I'm kind of surprised. Now, I will say I've only read like one and a half books, maybe, and I don't even know if I really finished the first one ever, but I had them as like a younger child, and I watched most of the Harry Potters, maybe like 1 through 4, because how many are there now? Like seven
I
or
don't
something?
even know.
Well, me and Kenny just did a movie marathon about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and watched all the Harry Potters from start to finish. That was fun. Recommend. We also did that with Star Wars. Whoa. Didn't think I was ever going to do that, but I did. And Lord of the Rings. And
The
all the
Hobbit?
Avenger movies.
Oof.
Oh, what? You don't like
I
Avengers?
hate superheroes.
Kaylee, but have you ever watched one?
Yeah. I was in it for Iron
Oh,
Man like 1 and half of Iron Man 2, and then I've seen a
Iron
bunch of
Man are the
them.
worst ones. Oh, I'm going to get some hate in the comments, I think.
It's okay. I don't like any of them, so they can come at me.
I love basically all of them.
That's I'm learning
That's
things.
that's unexpected for me.
It is very unexpected. I can't believe you sat through all the Star Warses.
It was very hard. Kenny said that we should probably work our way from, like, we watched the newest one first and then went the other way, or I don't know what we did, but we didn't start with the original one, because if we had, I would not have continued the journey. You know what I'm saying?
See, I grew up on the originals, and I had nostalgia for them. And then I
Gotcha.
remember when we were young, the shitty 3 came out. The horrible, horrible ones. I don't even know if you would have watched them, but the trash ones. And then the new ones came out when I was an adult. The ones that are
Okay.
like spawning all this fun stuff now.
Yeah. My favorite one was with the woman lead character, of
Oh
course.
yeah.
But like, I know that's not like true OG Star Wars, but that was my favorite because I never grew up watching them. So,
That makes sense. You didn't strike me as a Star Wars home.
never seen Star Trek.
Me either.
Good. No, I'm just kidding.
I think my dad was into it, and so I've seen like some episodes, but it never resonated with me whatsoever. I think that might be a few clicks older than us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless your parents were into it, I think the kids that watched that organically as kids on their own would have been a little bit older than we were.
I can see that.
Anyway, moving along to things that I don't know if it would be surprising now that I've said all this. I've read all of the Lord of the Rings. No, lies. Didn't read those. I've read all of the Game of Throneses.
Wow.
Bro,
Wow.
I can
I'm surprised.
binge some books. And then I ran out because George R. R. Martin started making money, is my theory, and decided I don't need to write anymore. So he never even finished the fucking series. And they just did the movies on their own, I think with his input. Well, then I went and read all of the like origin stories of all of the characters.
Oh
I
my.
went on a deep fucking dive. I found as many things as I could consume. I think I even read like a encyclopedia of all the characters. Is very embarrassing.
Wait, so you watched the movies or the season? I thought it was a season of series of shows.
I started watching like 1 and 2, excuse me, of the show. And then I got so hooked that I went and started reading the books. And then I blazed through the books before HBO ever finished the series.
Wow. Wow.
They were so
That's pretty
good.
cool. I am surprised. Surprising for me. I've not watched that at all.
And then for how much shitting I did on people who play video games, when I was not feeling good for like a year when I was 20, maybe? I don't know. It's when I was having gallbladder problems and they were trying to figure it out. So I was just nauseous forever. I played Skyrim all day, every day, without ceasing. Do you even know what that is?
Nope.
Honestly, you would love it. I don't think you should play it. Because if you
Is it a
like Harry Potter, I feel like it's adult Harry Potter.
is it first person perspective?
I think you can change it though.
If I can like see my character moving, then I'm cool. But if like I am seeing what the character would actually be seeing out of his eyeballs, then I am not cool. I would talk about nauseous. I would get so motion sickness.
I
Ugh.
bet you could change it. I don't honestly know,
Okay.
but it's just like it's this giant map and it's just like quest after unending, and it's like no storyline, so you just can like free ball
Okay.
run around and like
Nice.
I want to go hang out with the ogres this week and then get a horse and then get a dragon and then you can ride the dragon around. And
That's
then,
pretty cool.
God, it's also, the dweebs are coming out. And then you're also like, you have some power or something that you can talk to dragons and other people know because you're kind of a legend. So when you walk into town, people are like, the dragonborn is here. And honestly,
I
the
love
makers
it.
of that video game are pretty smart because all the fucking losers that are playing that game are probably getting sucked in because they think everywhere they go, they're famous.
Is
Virtually.
it on, like, can you buy it, like, as, how would you play it? Can I buy it on, like, an Xbox, or do you have to do, like, what is it?
Well, my brothers had like an older Xbox, and this we're talking like
Okay.
10 plus years ago that I played this. So I'm sure now you can like you like download and buy things.
Dude, I was like, what do you mean 10 years? But you said you were 20, and I'm like, that was only like a couple years ago. I forget we're in our 30s sometimes.
I
I literally was like, why did she say 10 years? And then I'm like, oh my God, it's been 10 years going on 11. Oh
Yeah,
no. No,
dude.
going on 12 for us, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stressed about my age.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry, I just had a moment over here. Like, what?
I know. It's like the other day when I was thinking to myself that kids born in 2000 are 23.
Weird.
I can't fathom that.
So weird.
I'm steadily getting carded less and less, and I feel pretty sad about it. Um, yeah, so that's my Skyrim. I get like, if I was a guy, I would have a half chub just from talking about it because it was so fun. But it was taking up way too much of my life, and then I started feeling better, and I was like, "Haley, you've got to go outside."
Wow.
I also like didn't have friends at that point in my life or a relationship. So what else are you gonna do? Um, oh man, before that, I was obsessed with the Nancy Drew games on the computer. But that was in high school, in our real dweeby days.
Dude, yes, I was right there with you with the dweebs. Um, there was not Nancy Drew, but there was other computer games where you like literally had a CD. In case you guys don't know out there what a CD is, it's a circular thing that you stick into the computer. There was a whole freaking compartment on the computer, and I had not tons, I had like a good 5 games that I would play on the computer, and it would be so fun. That was like the highlight of my day, but it was like kind of educational games, so that, I'm so dweeby in that, but it was so great. Like I wish I could go back and figure out how to find those games now and play them, but I don't know if you can.
I wish I could play Nancy Drew because it was the same thing. A lot of the things you had to do were like puzzles, and it was within a
Mm-hmm.
larger murder mystery story. So my true crime was coming out.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Is that how you say it?
I think
Carmen
so.
Sandiego was a game. Oh, that was fun. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You're you're bringing all these memories out.
I feel like I don't know, man. Part of me wants to feel like I'm kind of cool and I'm kind of like edgy, and then I really start thinking about it, and it's like no chance. I've been a dweeb from day one.
Same.
Day fucking one. Okay, Nancy
Same.
Drew, and then I had these are just skill sets. They're not real skill sets. These are things that I do that I honest to God, didn't really realize that normal people weren't cataloging this information. And then it's now a family joke between me and Jason. But I was so lame as a kid that I used to read, if you can even call it that, dog breed books.
No.
I would go to the library and get
Okay.
like the dog books of like, AKC breeds. And I would flip through it and I would just like learn about all the dog breeds. So I have a embarrassing ability to like recognize breeds on the street. Although a lot of people have mixed like rescues now, so that kind of
Mm-hmm.
goes away. But Jason and
That's
I will be somewhere
funny.
and I'll be like, "Oh, that's a Visla." And then he tries to
That's how you
argue.
are with cars too.
I was leading into that.
Sorry.
I can tell you the name and make and model of every vehicle of everyone I remotely know. Unless I haven't been to their house, because we do have some friends that like I haven't been around their homes lately, so I couldn't tell you. But if I've seen your car once, I know what you drive forever until you buy a new one. And then, but I don't know any ones that are cool. Like Jason's mom was really into old vehicles, so he knows like classic cars and he can tell you the difference between like a 67 Chevy and like a blah blah, like no idea. Which is embarrassing. Those are the only cars that people want to talk about. Nobody wants to discuss a fucking Hyundai Sonata.
Oh my
It's the
gosh.
most useless ass skill, but I could literally close my eyes right now and if you just I could name off every single one of my old coworkers' vehicles without flinching.
That's
I
impressive though.
what's wrong with me? It's just this
I like it.
one sliver, but none of it cool. And this even happened today at work. My one coworker went to go look at a vehicle and I said, "Oh, what one?" Because usually people just say SUV or the gray one, but I want to know the things, the details. So she says it's a Honda CRV and I was like, "Oh, our coworker drives that." And she's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "You've been working with her for like 10 years. How do you not know that?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know things like that either.
So it's a me problem. But Jason cracked
I don't
like
think it's a problem.
Jason makes fun of me for that too because I can like we'll get in arguments because like I know what they are in my hair like rear view mirror based on the headlights. It's horrifically stupid information to retain. But there it
I still think
is.
it's cool
I wish. I
because it's
wish.
something that you wouldn't expect, especially a woman, to know. So I think it's cool.
Thank you. I just wish that I had lived in an area where people were driving classic cars because those are the only conversations that people want to have with you. And the reason that I know all of these vehicles is because we lived on a highway when I was a kid, Highway 10, Dale, Wisconsin. Shout out.
Is that before you moved to Nina?
Yeah. And it was like an older farmhouse style house. Anyway, it had a big front porch, like screened in front porch or glassed in probably because it was cold up there. And me and my brothers would sit, I don't know, it was a game, and like watch the cars go by and try to name off what kind of vehicle it was. Like
Wow.
that's where this crap started. And then it never stopped. And cars haven't changed much. So,
Yeah, that's true.
of like the lame normies. Oh, also, I know the cars in the socioeconomic status in which I live. So, like, don't ask me about a Jaguar or a Lexus or an Infinity. I don't know any of the like top tier brands. I know all of their American versions. So, I can tell you
Mm-hmm.
everything about Toyota and Honda, but I will not know shit about Lexus and Acura, except I will know the tiers of who they're connected to.
Yeah, that's interesting. Knowing who's all. God, that's funny. Hey, I. That's still impressive.
Thank you. Apparently, they created those because there were import laws back in the day. Going back to your consumerism rant, so American car makers were doing so shitty for a while that all these foreign car companies like Toyota started coming in, and they wanted to put a cap on the number that they could import. So they just basically said "fuck you" and made like a subsidiary of themselves, and then could import that same number again.
Of course they did.
Don't make fucking shitty cars, and then people won't want to buy the outside ones.
Ah, that's a whole other rant.
Let's drop
Okay,
it the
anything
hut.
else nerdy?
I think that's everything I can think of that would be mainly unexpected. I do feel like sometimes I freak people out with my tattoo every once in a while because I keep it very covered at work.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I'm leaving work and take off my sweater, people sometimes are like, "You have a tattoo?"
Yeah, in your work setting, I would find it a little surprising.
I mean, I don't know, a lot of them I guess do. I mean, healthcare people, but anyway, I just cherish anytime I can do anything that someone finds unexpected.
I know you do, and I love it. Sorry, I'm so tired today.
It's okay.
Everything's. I don't have a newborn or anything.
Right?
Technically, he's not considered newborn anymore. I don't think.
When is that
Because
cut
he's.
off?
I think at 8 or 9 weeks.
Well, can you just like add 4 because he's preemie?
I know. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, So yeah, he's got like a week left.
So what is he then next? He's a baby?
I don't know, an infant, a baby. Yeah, I don't know what you call him. It doesn't make any sense. I should know this, but I don't.
That's okay. I definitely don't. If you find out, feel free to share. All right. I know you have some nerd alerts, so it's
Okay,
your
yeah.
turn.
Okay. The overall theme of my nerd alerts, I think, is, well, a big facet is games. I just love all things games, and I think it could be quite nerdy. Like, we grew up playing so many games, and I would watch the game show channel, like, for fun.
I
And
forgot about your game show channel obsession. I gotta go watch GSN.
yes, shout out to Chuck from, what was it? I don't remember which one, but like Lingo and just all those. I think it stemmed from my mom because she would watch Jeopardy, which I wasn't a big fan. Or she would watch Wheel of Fortune. I feel like I have these memories in my head, but
Kayla,
now I'm
I
saying this to
have a
myself.
vivid memory of your Wisconsin house in the little cozy
Yeah.
part with the TV with
Uh-huh.
Jeopardy on, and your mom sitting
Yeah.
in there with her little glasses
Yelling the
on.
answers.
Oh my god.
My mom would also entertain me because I was the only child, and we would bring like puzzle books on trips with us, like for plane rides or wherever we would go. And me and my mom would do puzzle books, which contain all types of like trivia and brain strategy games and crossword stuff like that. And I also like puzzles, like actual hand piece puzzles. Remember that time on my ping pong table as a kid? I had this huge Disney one, and it took forever to do. And I think one of our friends lost a piece. Whatever. I just remember at the end there was like one piece missing, and it was never fully actually completely finished.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
Okay, go ahead.
So it was a puzzle of, it was a giant picture of Mickey Mouse, but the big picture is made up of little pictures of like snapshots of Disney movies and then tinted to fit into the bigger photo. Mm-hmm. And it was 1,000,000 pieces, like 5,000.
1,000,000. Yeah.
5,000?
Yeah,
It was one
I
of the
think
biggest
so.
ones we'd ever did. Because adding on to the dweebiness of our behaviors in high school, we used to listen to Kanye West's first 2 albums, College Dropout and Late Registration, and do puzzles on her ping pong table. The juxtaposition there I find wild. And we were working on this one, and then we had some of our guy friends over, and the smart alecky one thought it would be funny, which it would have been, to his credit. Mm-hmm. But he thought it would be funny to get a puzzle, steal one of the puzzle pieces from somewhere in the middle, so that when we got done with this giant ass puzzle, we couldn't find one piece, and then he was going to give it back to you in a birthday present. Like wrap it and give it to you.
Oh my god.
And we had a birthday party for you, and he came, and then he gave you the puzzle piece, and then I think like something happened. It dropped on your deck and then dropped between the slats of the wood.
Oh, that sounds right. I vaguely remember that because the ping pong table room was right off the deck.
But then after that, we still were missing a couple pieces.
Yes, no, it was still more than that. I mean, 5,000 pieces, you're kind of bound to lose one when it takes a month to make or like put together.
I mean, we weren't at the retirement home, so we had to go to school. But listen, this is morbid as hell, but if we outlive our husbands, I'm starting a single ladies community for old ladies, and we're going to do puzzles and listen to Kanye West again.
Okay, that works.
Because I'll need
we
something.
We could also just... I feel you. The other thing about puzzles, it didn't last forever, but I remember specifically in my childhood, maybe it was before we moved to the house that you and I know each other from, but my mom and I, but I think mostly my mom, had puzzles made or put together, like she put them together and then glued the back and hung them on the walls in our basement like they were art pieces, which I found very tasteful. I loved it, but I just like such a core memory of the puzzles that she would make, and maybe I was old enough to help. I just remember there would be put together glued puzzles on our wall.
That was a real like work of art in Wisconsin.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, puzzles and games and all that stuff. And then the other thing is I just never know what to tell people when they're like, what do you like to do for fun? Or what do you like to read? Oh, you know what I like to read? Nothing. Wait, I always get these confused. I don't read anything fictional. Right? That'd be like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You read a lot of nonfiction.
All the fiction where they're fun stories and you get sucked in and it's great storytelling. I just feel like I know this sounds horrible, but with all of the nonfiction out there where I could be learning something, I just feel fiction is a waste of my time, which is horrible. And people love to, like, that is their hobby, and I'm like, dude, I wish I could do that. But for me, if I'm gonna read or listen to an audiobook, I'm always gonna want to learn something as I do it. So that's me being really nerdy with like education, like super nerdy. Like on my way to work every day, it's either a podcast or an audiobook.
Me too, and I'm kind of sad about it because I have a new car that has like great speakers. And sometimes I have
Yeah,
to
I don't even
pry
listen to music
myself.
anymore that much.
I know.
I'm so lame.
Sometimes it's overstimulating on the way home.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just ride home in complete silence if it's been a long day of people talking and too much. Just like, let me just sit in silence for 30 minutes.
I fully recognize that I'm using podcasts and audiobooks to like suspend my animation and not be plugged into my current moment. And it's not a great coping skill, but I regularly do it. And then I won't recall my drive home.
Oh, I've been there too many times. You just said something that struck. I'd never thought about that.
I just induce a fugue state and just go on autopilot and lose track of time.
Well, I feel like I have a problem. This is for another podcast episode, but I have a problem with, like, yeah, just being still. And I don't spend time inside my own brain and let my thoughts run. I am always trying to consume something to better myself or to figure something out or to make money. It's like I have a problem with not just being, because I'm always having to consume something, even if it's like for good things, you know?
I know.
We should talk about that.
It's a really good way to tell yourself that you are doing something productive when you have the productivity disease. Because if you're not, your time value is equal to what you've produced. It's a horrible, horrible system that I did not know we were going to talk about when we started talking about this.
Me either, but that's a very valid point. But you know, when you do sit with yourself, like if I just did a car ride when I'm overstimulated and I have a car ride home for 40 minutes and I actually am just sitting with my thoughts, I end up feeling A, better, and B, working through something in my head, or C, like actually feeling a little creative and having some ideas pop in my head. I need to like make some silent space more for myself.
I've made mine at a minimum. I can't play anything while I'm in the shower. I was getting to a point where I was like, let's turn on a TV show and then taking a shower.
Oh. It's easy with technology nowadays, and that's the thing that I don't. Okay, we need an episode on technology and AI and all of those facets and the pros and cons.
I know we've severely derailed, but let's reel ourselves back in. Oh yeah, but I do feel you on all of the puzzles. I didn't do as many as you, but I loved all of that stuff. I still love that. It's why I'm obsessed with Wordle.
No, yep. Wordle every day.
Excuse me.
And Quirtle.
Shut up. But do you know about connections?
No.
Bruh. I've been wanting to share it with you really badly, but I feel like you're going to like it, and I don't want you to have another, like, obligation, and you don't have to share your results with me, but if you did, I would not be sad. It's by New York Times, and it's a quadrant. I think it's 4x4, and it's all just random words, and there's 4 categories with 4 words, and you have to pick out which 4 go together. So there's like 4 levels of like easiest, medium, hard, and hard. And you click them and you only have 4 wrong guesses to make, and then it deletes you.
Oh my.
Bruh, okay, it's so fun. You would have loved the one the other day. It was like rappers or hip hop artists without the numbers. So the words that you could see were savage, scent. It's someone with a 2 and I forgot. Because Tupac was in there, but it wasn't him. It was like to throw you off.
I can't think of anything.
I know.
Oh, chains?
Yes, Chains was one, and then is that 3?
Mm-hmm.
There was one more. Anyway,
That's cool. I'm gonna have to freaking try it
oh
now.
my god, it's so fun. It's my new addiction. My coworker showed it to me. But anyway, yeah, that stuff, man. Like Jason makes fun of me because I wake up in the morning and I like go to the toilet and I start working on Wordle. It's like how I kickstart my brain. I could play
That's
word games like
really
that
funny.
all day.
Same, bro. Same. Word games. We would do well, word games or just like stupid games when we're on road trips and stuff. I mean, like games were everything. And I feel like that kind of makes it's kind of nerdy, but I love it.
I
And they're
know.
so much fun to me.
We had a deck. It was just like a deck of cards in a cardboard box, and the game was called Rubberneckers. And it was for road trips. So we would play with my family, and you'd get, I don't really remember, but I think you'd get cards, and they would say stuff on them, like things you could see on a road trip.
Hmm.
And then you'd like get a point and turn it in and swap it out,
Oh, I gotcha. Yep.
that kind of a thing. But just like simple shit before we had phones.
Hmm. I Spy.
I hated that game. There was an alphabet game too. We used to play a lot of like word association games.
It's be like name fruits from A to Z. You go first.
Yes.
We did that a
Oh my god,
lot.
the name game so much. And then there was one that our smart guy friend started, and I don't remember it, but I think you had to like say a letter, and it had to like spell a word. Each person said a letter, and you wanted it to always keep spelling a word or something. I can't
It
remember, but
sounds like something. There's a lot of.
he would always
Hmm.
say things, and then he'd pretend like it was a word and it fucking wasn't. Like an asshole, but we all believed him because he was confident, and that is a life lesson, children.
Yes.
Pass off a
Just like
lot.
that. Hey, you might not be a 10, but you can act like one. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Put off
That's
10
fine.
energy, but when someone asks
Yes.
you, like,
There
know
you
your
go.
place.
Oh, too funny. But yeah, hey, the nerd portion of me may knock me down a few, but I'll take it because I love all the things that I love,
I
and
know.
I'm not sorry about it.
I think it's flourished more as I've gotten older. I've always enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
being off putting to people, let's be honest, but now I feel like I enjoy some of those things just for enjoyment, not for enjoyment plus freaking people out.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like most people were hiding their bad behaviors. I was like overexposing myself for
I
a
mean,
reaction.
yeah, this makes sense that you were Slytherin too.
It's true. It's all coming
So
together.
funny. Oh my
The one last
gosh.
thing I want to end on is all of the time that we spent playing Dance Dance Revolution in your house on the mat.
Yes.
And we got really good exercise. And
Oh, so good exercise.
yeah, this was like pre
So good.
VR, and we were like doing exercises. And then I made up a way of like using my legs in spider mode, I called it, where I'd make like right angles with my knees and do them. And then Kayla
So
really hated
stressful.
watching it.
It's so stressful to watch. You look like you're a spider body. It's
It's
so it's funny though.
it's like
But
the
it's
monster in Monsters Inc. There was a professor and he had a spider
oh
body. That's
yeah.
exactly who I was trying to like embody in that moment. Oh, I have one more that I forgot to tell everybody. I was obsessed with Lord of the Rings in elementary school, and I named my seat on the bus Arwen after the elf in Lord of the Rings. So I can never think that I'm cooler than anybody else because that's the kind of shit that I did as a child. And then told people you should all name your seat.
I don't remember that, but that is great.
Wouldn't
That's a good
have
one.
because you didn't have to ride the bus.
We rode the bus together one year, but that was later.
And this
This may
was
have
like
been
middle
earlier.
school.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because I
yeah.
think your
Yeah,
parents
okay.
were still teaching at whatever school you were at.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's so funny. Arwen.
What a fucking. I wanted to be an elf so badly. It's because she was pale and she had brown hair. And I think it was the first time I ever saw any like pale brown haired people. That seemed cool. And she was really good with a bow and arrow. So it was like being really pretty and being a badass.
Did you feel spark with the Hunger Games girl? What's her name?
No, I was over it at that point.
I feel you.
This was in like middle school. Plus,
Okay, okay.
I wanted to make out with Orlando Bloom.
my god. On that note, oh my gosh. That's so funny. Hey man, we are nerds to our in the deep souls of our lives. I would say that I'm a nerd.
I know. I think that the moral of the story is everybody that everyone's a little bit weird, and it's more fun to talk about it and laugh about it and then figure out that your friend is really into DC Marvel movies, and for her to find out that I absolutely hate them and laugh about it than to do it in the dark.
I love it so much. Hey, this is another thing. There's different parts of us squirting out of different holes, and we can agree to disagree on our opinions and our favorite things. I cannot believe you don't like those. I love these.
I think I like you more every time I find out something we don't agree on. Because it's funny.
It's funny. It's funny.
That is what I'm gonna. If I ever run for office, that's what it's gonna be.
That's gonna be your slogan.
It's gonna have some platform of like, let's disagree with each other. Life's more fun.
Valid.
On that note, we're gonna leave you all. Please tell us if you have any weird / things people wouldn't expect about you. And next week we're gonna be back with some topics that I haven't quite solidified yet, but we'll have something.
And if you are a DC Marvel movie fan like me, please drop your favorite movie. Mine is Ant-Man and all of the ones that Paul Rudd is in, because that's my other nerdy fact. I don't know why, but his nerdiness, I just love it so much. Okay, that's the end of my story.
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man!
What the fuck? I didn't even know Paul Rudd was in these movies. I was wondering why you liked him so much. I love him from Friends as Phoebe's husband, Mr. Banana Hammock.
He's in so many other movies, but my favorite of his movies are Ant-Man. And I know that makes it even worse, but I love them so much.
All I can think of is the knockoff of A Bug's Life, Ants.
No, that's stupid.
I know it's stupid, but I'm just picturing Paul Rudd's face on one of those cheesy ants.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway, that's leave your favorite movie down below, even if it's not DC Marvel, I guess.
Is there another thing that's not DC and Marvel? Is there another comic book genre?
Yeah, there is, but I don't remember. It's like the stupid DC Flash Marvel, ones or something.
Is DC Marvel the Avengers?
Well, Marvel's the Avengers. I don't know what DC is. I'm repeating what you're saying.
Is Marvel Batman? Okay, we have some research to do. If anybody else knows, can you let us know? Because clearly our nerdiness only extends to a point in this facet. But we will see you next Tuesday, and I love you. Bye.
Bye.